Hello and welcome to the Cinematic Attic YouTube channel. I'm Mike. How are you? This is the channel where we talk about all movies of all genres on all types of physical media. So if that's okay with you, welcome. Okay, so in today's video, not quite a big haul. It's a pretty small one compared to what I usually bring, at least in terms of what I'm spotlighting up front. But let's get into it. First of all, so happy this came out. I've been waiting for this for a long time. This was a title that was only available on VHS for, well, till now. And I almost bought the VHS several times. I was looking at it. I had it in my hand in a store. A VHS copy for $8. I almost bought it. But I knew this company was eventually going to put it out on disc, so I waited. Finally got it. Hunter's Blood from Red Shirt Pictures, which is part of Synapse. This movie is often talked about with slasher films, but to me it has more in common with Deliverance. You have a group of people, hunters actually, who go out into a remote area and they end up being hunted by some backwoods folks. You could get this box in two different designs. I chose this one. What mattered to me was that on the disc I could get the original VHS artwork. But this is a 4K Blu-ray set, 2 discs. There is reversible artwork if you prefer that. That's pretty cool too. So, I watched this the day I got it because I've been waiting a long time to see this movie. And so finally got a good copy, good widescreen copy, 4K. This also comes with a booklet and a poster. And I got it from Diabolic DVD. Hunter's Blood. Finally. It was weird because I had been waiting for an announcement of this, and when I finally saw an announcement, I went to Diabolic and ordered it, and instead of it being a pre-order where I waited a month or two, it shipped immediately. So I guess maybe I missed a previous announcement. Whatever. Happy to have it. The only thing from Vinegar Syndrome this time around, I had to get this. Eurocrime Rarities, Volume 1. I love Eurocrime films. This particular set has 3 films. You get a booklet with that as well. Day of the Cobra, Rascal's Gang, and the Iron Commissioner. I already had Day of the Cobra on Blu-ray, but this was worth it to get the other 2, which I did not have. So picked that up, and it being a volume 1, I'm hopeful that there will be more, specifically films I don't already have. But Eurocrime Rarities, volume 1. I did get one imported edition to upgrade a VHS. From, I believe, Germany. The Demolitionist. Widescreen DVD. Particularly to upgrade this cut box VHS. And then I did get one official question mark release. It comes from a particular company who have a website, Hayden Entertainment. They advertise that they have 4 titles available on Blu-ray. But it is made on demand. But I got Embryo. And I got this because I have this film. I've seen this film on a full screen DVD as part of, I think, a Mill Creek collection. You know, one of the big 50 packs from back in the day. And of course, any edition of this that's out there is the same full screen, bad looking print. It's a very, very dark looking print. And I will say, after looking at this, the print is still not pristinely clear. It's not, to me, it's not like Blu-ray clear. It's still a little soft. But it is in widescreen. Still a little too dark. But at least it's in widescreen. So this is probably the best you'll find if you're into this movie. A science fiction horror film with Rock Hudson, Diane Ladd. From Imprint. Couple box sets. Got Essential Film Noir Collection 6. I have all the other editions, the other 5. This one has 4 films. This first one I already had on a Kino Lorber Blu-ray. But this does have different special features, different commentary, even a short film. So, made it all right. I've seen this. It's a good film. Gloria Graham's amazing in this. Sterling Hayden. Ring of Fear. I had this one on DVD. But the DVD, no special features. So, whatever. But these other 2 I did not have at all. Hell's Island and Flame of the Islands. So, I think I might only skip one of these volumes if I have all the films. That it would make it tough for me to rebuy just to be complete with the collection, but hasn't happened yet. The month of May, which, as I'm recording this, it's the last day of May. For me, in my watching schedule, was made for TV movie month, where I try to watch as many made-for-TV films as possible. As of right now, I've watched 16 films made for TV this month, which is a decent number. Mostly I watched ones from the 70s. I think one was from the 80s. But this next Imprint set, I didn't watch any movies from it, but it is the TV Movie of the Week collection number 4. And I have to say that the movies included are not very common ones, which I appreciated because I haven't seen any of them. Matter of fact, I don't even know if I heard of any of them. But we have Contract on Cherry Street. That's Frank Sinatra. That's from 1977. We have this one with Joe Don Baker and Lou Gossett Jr. from 1978. And then we have O.J. Simpson. 1983. Now, these 3 to me seemed like a detectives and criminals kind of set, especially when one of them stars O.J. Simpson. But yeah, so it seemed like there was a theme going on here with that set. Appreciate that. So you'll see some more made-for-TV movies coming up. But I'd say the company I got the most from this time around was Warner Archive. Starting with five that I got from a sale at Wonder Book and Video. I got Strange Lady in Town, Edge of Darkness, The Toast of New York, which actually has Francis Farmer in it, which is why I was curious to pick it up. Um, Francis Farmer made famous in my mind from the Nirvana song. So curious about that. Cary Grant in here as well. Made for TV movie, Desperate Lives. That is Helen Hunt, 1982 film. And Intruder in the Dust. Then, besides made for TV movies, the thing I got into most since the last video was director William Bodine or things associated with him. If you listen to the Pure Cinema podcast, you know why. um, for those not familiar, the Pure Cinema podcast, probably my favorite movie podcast. They are also the official podcast of the New Beverly Cinema, which is run by Quentin Tarantino, who is currently obsessed with the films of William Bodine. So there was two episodes where they talked with him about the films of William Bodine. There was a podcast where they talked about the film screening at the New Bev by William Bodine, and then there was a podcast where they interviewed the author of a book about William Bodine, which you'll see later. So obviously I was curious. I got really into what they were talking about, so I started digging in myself. William Bodine, if you don't know, is a director who started in the silent era, worked his way through doing films, a lot of B films, although he did some, really prestigious stuff. But he ended up doing a lot of B films, did a few Disney films later on, did some TV work at the end of his life, but very prolific. And one of the things he's known for is doing a lot of films from the Bowery Boys series. The Bowery Boys being an extension of Dead End Kids, and there was Little Tough Guys in the middle. But so I was interested in watching some of the series with the kids. Started with a film called Dead End, which is a great film. I watched it with Sylvia Sidney, who I'm a big fan of, Humphrey Bogart. That was a major Hollywood film. It's followed by this one, which I picked up, Crime School, Dead End Kids Return. Humphrey Bogart does as well, although different character. Haven't watched this yet, but this is next. And then they appeared in a bunch more films, and eventually they got the series of Dead End Kids and Little Tough Guys, Bowery Boys, etc., etc. So that I would have them handy to watch, I picked up the remainder of the Bowery Boys films that I did not have. I'll have to work on the other series of Dead End Kids and whatnot. I already had Volume 3, so I got Bowery Boys Volume 1, 12 films there. Volume 2, another 12. And Volume 4, also 12. So, have Volume 3 already, but I finished out that set. A lot of these directed by William Bodine. Continuing on the Bodine train, I picked up the complete collection of another series where he did two films, I think at least two films. That's the Torchy Blaine collection. I was planning to get this eventually anyway because I'm trying to get all of the 30s and 40s series, B-movie series. Um, so this just made me buy it sooner. But Torchy Blane collection. The other Warner Archives I picked up. Another made-for-TV movie with the Bermuda Depths. A bizarre film. But you have Connie Sellecca in there. It stars Lee McCloskey, but also has Carl Weathers and Burl Ives. Weird movie, supernatural elements, giant turtle. But a lot of fun. Got the Looney Tunes Collector's Vault Volume 2, 50 more Looney Tunes shorts. I already owned about half of these, but on DVD. So, which, didn't bother me, but at least there were 25 in here or so that I did not have at all. So that made it worth it for sure. And I don't think most people realize just how many shorts, how many Looney Tunes shorts, Warner Brothers animated shorts there were back in the day. It's ridiculous. Death in Small Doses, labeled as a film noir. The Dangers of Amphetamines with Truck Drivers. This is from 1957. You do have a smaller role of Chuck Connors in here, playing someone who's under the influence. Fun film. I remember watching this back when Warner Archive had their own streaming channel. So that. Then I got Doc Hollywood just to upgrade VHS. The only Kino Lorber I got this time around, Nightmare in Badham County, which was originally a TV movie. And I did own it on a DVD. But I saw that this has the TV and theatrical version, theatrical being in widescreen. So this has both versions. The theatrical is longer. And since I haven't watched this yet, I figure I'll just watch the longer cut. But Nightmare in Badham County. Then the last thing to mention here at the top, I watched a movie recently streaming. I don't know, it might have been Shudder or somewhere like that. And I really liked it and I wanted to own it. This seemed to be the only place to get it. So I picked up from Umbrella, Ozploitation Rarities Volume 2. I don't have the other volumes. There's at least 3. Not sure if there are 4, but at least 3 volumes in this. It'd be great to have the others, but I basically just got this for the one film. So in this you get Desolation Angels and Coda, Symphony of Evil. But I got it specifically to get the 13th Floor, which I really liked. Which is funny because I read a lot of reviews that don't like this movie, and I'm like, I love this movie, so whatever. But so I got it for that one. Yep. So that's it. Here's everything else I picked up from eBay to upgrade VHS. From eBay to upgrade VHS. From eBay, some discs to upgrade VHS. From Second Hand Charles, including 2 VHS upgrades. Got this seemingly VHS only title because the copy I had was actually a screener. So I wanted to get an actual copy of the movie. Pretty fun movie. Good cast. From an antique store. From eBay. Upgrading VHS. From the Electronic Bay. From an antique mall, including one VHS upgrade. From eBay, this one is a VHS upgrade. These were actually given to me. I already have this on Blu-ray, but this has lots more special features, so I'll keep that. This is a 2-disc special edition, which will allow me to get rid of this 1-disc edition. Switching out this edition for this one. Snazzy. From Wonder Book and Video. From eBay to upgrade VHS. Got a lot of movies at Savers. Let's take a look. I did get one VHS upgrade, although I do have this under its other title, King Boxer, in a better edition. I did just want to keep a copy under that title. From Second and Charles. From eBay, some VHS upgrades. And a couple others. From the Dollar General, this 6-film collection. And I actually own none of these. DVD to upgrade VHS. From eBay. A couple from Savers. And a VHS upgrade from eBay. From Goodwill. And from eBay, a VHS upgrade. From Second and Charles, some DVDs, including 4 VHS upgrades and a couple others. From eBay, this is actually an upgrade of a VHS. And the VHS has a much better title and artwork, but this is what we get. Okay, so for today on the Pantheon, I've chosen 3 films, all made for television. 2 of them actually for cable channels, which is interesting. But these are 3 on my list of favorites of all time. So we're going to start with this one, The Strangers in 7A. I have it on this double feature from East West DVD, one of these really thin things you used to get at Walmart for $1. I have a ton of these. But made for TV in the 70s, and it stars Andy Griffith. Ida Lupino's in it. Director Paul Wendkos, who did a lot of made for TV movies, stars this guy who is having troubles with his marriage to Ida Lupino. He is superintendent of an apartment building. He goes out to a bar, meets this woman. She's looking for an apartment. She's conning her way into finding an apartment for her and her friends so that they can case out a bank across the street so that they can rob it. And throughout the film, you have elements of home invasion, elements of hostage taking as the drama plays out. And when I watched it years ago, I really liked it. I think I may have even reviewed it on the Cinematic Addict podcast way back when. Actually, I think I did, because I remember ripping some of the theme music to put in the podcast because I liked it. So I recommend Strangers in 7A, an Andy Griffith television film. And if you only know Andy Griffith from The Andy Griffith Show, this might be a shock. But if you've seen him in A Face in the Crowd, then it might not be such a shock to see him being not quite so Andy Griffith wholesome. So, Strangers in 7A, recommend it. Shifting gears entirely, Sci-Fi Channel, Ice-Tastrophe, also known as Christmas Ice-Tastrophe, as it's set around the holidays. I love this movie because back when I was getting into these made-for-TV disaster films, made-for-sci-fi disaster films, this one stood out as being like the epitome of why I liked them. The no holds barred insanity of some of these is represented here. This is made by Cinetel Films, which has made a lot of these type of films. They're a company that were around before they started making these. They used to do films, theatrical films. But their sci-fi disaster films have always stood out as being a little better than the others. So anytime I see Cinetel on these, I grab it. This one features this town, which gets flash frozen. There's like this wave of flash freezing ice, and it causes other disasters and things. It's caused by a meteorite. It, it, it is a lot of fun. I just love it. It stars Victor Webster, Jennifer Spence, directed by Jonathan Winfrey. If you're into these at all, check this out. It makes a great double feature with Snowmageddon. I watched both of those around the same time. They have similar elements, but they are different, so they make a great double feature. But I recommend this one. And if you're someone who scoffs at these films, you're just a snob, go away. These are fun. So Ice-Tastrophe, it's on my list, my Pantheon list, as a representative of one of these type of films as my favorite one. And the last one to spotlight today from the Pantheon is a movie made for HBO back in 1985. And that is The Park Is Mine. Tommy Lee Jones in an early role. Helen Shaver, Yaphet Kotto. This has Tommy Lee Jones as a Vietnam vet who takes drastic steps, takes over Central Park in an effort to um, cause people to notice the uh, issues facing Vietnam vets. And he takes over the park, and it's it's quite the film. It's really something. I remember buying this at a Barnes and Noble, saying, "Hey, this looks cool. It's Tommy Lee Jones, something I hadn't heard of. It's made for television. This is intriguing." I took it home, watched it, loved it. So, if that sounds at all interesting to you, give it a shot. And I will say I saw Tommy Lee Jones in a 70s made for TV movie that I watched this past month. I think it was Smash Up on Interstate 5 or something like that. He plays a police officer in that one. So, yep. So there you go. Made for TV films, 3 from the Pantheon. There are more, but just wanted to spotlight those 3 today. So here's something else. So for the bookshelf segment, today we are talking William Bodine, plus a bonus. So I have 2 books here related to Bodine. The main one that was talked about in the podcast I listened to, and I ordered it and read it. Directed by William Bodine, an overview by James L. Nyber. I have other books by James L. Nyber. I'm very familiar with his books. He did the one on John Wayne's B films that I read. But this goes through his film career, and it's very very well done in terms of giving you an overview, as it says. So if you're interested in learning more about a very underrated, undervalued, almost forgotten director, this is a good place to learn more. So I recommend that. Now, since I was going through, or since I was buying and planning to go through all of the Dead End Kids, Bowery Boys films, I wanted to buy a book that also took me through them. That's one of my favorite experiences. You'll see this a lot when I buy the books that I show, is that if I'm interested in watching movies, I like to have a curated read along as I'm watching them. Something to give me information that I can read about before or after the film, usually before. That helps me appreciate the film more as I'm watching it. So I did find this, the films of the Bowery Boys, which includes Dead End Kids and all the others. They just call it Bowery Boys because that was the most known, most popular. This goes through all the films. It's by David Hayes and Brent Walker. And it says pictorial because there's a lot of pictures, but it does go through each film, tell you all about them, film by film, through each series. So you can get your education about the films as you watch them. There's also stuff in the back like bios on all the actors. So if you want to learn more about the people in the films, you have that too. But mainly a film guide, film by film guide, which I love. So awesome. Now the last film or last book that I want to show this time around is one that I cannot believe I haven't brought up by now. So even though it's related to nothing else that I'm showing, I have to show this now because it's insane that I haven't already. I went through the list of all the books that I've shown on these videos. I went over that list like 3 or 4 times because I there's just no way I couldn't have mentioned it before now. This is one of the most important books in my film book collection. A book that I love that I'm still trying to get through. And that is Nightmare USA by Stephen Thrower. How have I not shown this book already? Anyway, so this is a massive book. This is a soft cover. There was a hardcover. This is from Fab Press. This came out. It says text copyright 2007. This is the 2008 soft cover. Okay. This is the untold story of the exploitation independence. All about exploitation films. The first, I don't know, 2/3 of the book are taking a look at particular films and filmmakers, and doing a real deep dive into that film and filmmaker. So there's interviews with them integrated into the text, as well as information about the films. There's all sorts of sidebars, tons of information. And then the last third of the book is shorter reviews about other films. There are also really nice galleries of photos with movie posters and other images. But it really is like a college course in independent exploitation films. My only gripe is not with this book. It's with the fact that in the back it says Volume 2, which is supposed to be coming soon. And it tells you all the chapters and all the films reviewed in it. Where is it? We need it. Stephen Thrower, please give us the second volume. It just says in preparation. Now he's done other books since this, so my only gripe is he needs to get that other volume out there. Nightmare USA. This is indispensable. If you're into the the cheap and interesting horror, sci-fi, exploitation kind of films, this is gotta have this. So I can't say enough good things about it. I am roughly halfway through it. It takes a lot to read, especially with the small print, multiple columns, but it's well worth it. So big recommend on that. I got this book at a Barnes & Noble in Baltimore. Probably not too long after 2008. Could have been 2008. So I've had that a long time. But yeah, Nightmare USA. That'll do it for this episode of the Cinematic Attic. So until next time, everyone, enjoy your movies.
The power of physical media compels you.